Off the draw, here's Michel. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that's going to make it 2nd and 14. Jackson from the shotgun. Flushed out right. Now he'll pull it down. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's 3rd down.
Yeah, not much there that time, and I think we were both wondering once he got out of the box whether he just throw the ball away, and he winds up only picking up a yard or two.
Mike is 59. Mike is 59. Let's go, defense.
On 3rd down, Jackson. He may try and run for this. Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to 4th down.
Well, I admire anyone trying to pick up an additional couple of yards. They're just not worth it when you take shots like that. Quarterbacks have to stay in the game and stay on the field.
And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline.
The Panthers take over 1st and 10 at their own 11-yard line.
This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion, guys are a little bit jumpy.
You do.
Oh, you understand the same. It's just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went 3
and
and
now
out.
they have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that first drive. I'll try to do better here. So the line of scrimmage all the way up to midfield now as they've got it 1st and 10. From midfield now, Haskins. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. The veteran Stephon Gilmore able to break that one up.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Haskins. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. So now 3rd and 10, a big play to start the drive, but nothing since.
Watch that in. Tight end's right. Tight end's right.
From the midfield strike, they'll look to throw. Looking long for Thomas. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. The Pats at the line, ready to go. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
At the 23-yard line.
Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. Jackson now. That's out to his running back, Michel. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be third down.
Let's go. Check. Watch 54. It's out.
Now it's Jackson to Michel on the screen. And he will lose yardage on the play, back at his own 19-yard line. A rough go there on third down, a loss of 4. Well, you can see what they wanted to do. They wanted to set up the screen there, but it got blown up.
It's hard to run that play if you're not getting a lot of pressure at the quarterback because the space doesn't open up. They were able to read that one and slow it down and stop it before they could get a first down.
Let's go.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. We sort of suspected that the elements might wreak havoc on both of these offenses, and that's been the case. No points on either side as this drive begins with a first down. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36.
1 yard gain. Second and 9.
On second and 9, Haskins. And his throw is incomplete. And this pass defense, they were sensational in the win last week, and they're looking good here so far in this first quarter.
You know, we often talk about how offenses get locked in, and that runs over multiple games where they're really, in that zone. Defenses can be the exact same way, and I think we're seeing an example of it here.
After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave him trying to convert on third and 9. From the gun, Haskins on third down. Open man is heard. It's complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. The Panthers have the first. It's a gain of 12.
First and 10 at the 48-yard line.
Shoot! Watch the shoot! Any weapon.
On first down, it's Haskins. And this one's incomplete. Offensively, might be thinking, what's going on here? 1 for their first 7 throwing the football.
So maybe they're thinking about rethinking their strategy a little bit right now with the way that they're throwing it around, not having that success. Might have to lean on the running game for a little while and see if they can get it back in form.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
The competition comes up in so many different ways, and right now, this unit, their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. Had about 5 sacks last week, and we just saw their first one of this game.
Come on, let's go. Echo. Where'd he go?
Now Haskins, third and long. Looks to throw, fires right side, and that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's fourth down. He gets us away. It's a good one. Drawing toward the sidelines. That one sails out of bounds. The side judge will walk it off. And he says it went out of bounds at the 9-yard line. Nice punt. So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong, back and forth like that? That definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
Jackson, quickly to Gronkowski. That's Kahn. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, second and 2.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
Facing a second and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. On the ground is Michel. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Jackson looking to throw on third. He's got it to Ingram, complete. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. We're scoreless after 1. They'll throw on first down to Jackson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Chris Jones in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing.
Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Chris Jones has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
Okay, let's go back a little bit and see if my schooling comes to the front. What's that old saying? Those who forget the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them. That's the same guy who's gotten back-to-back sacks. I think a double team may be in order.
Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down. This is away, and a very good kick, angled for the sidelines. And out of bounds. This will depend on where they spot it, and they'll say at the 45. This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. And given the elements, this might have been what we would have expected, Charles. Scoreless into the second quarter.
The elements have definitely played a part in this game, a big part. And I think that both teams have been a little...
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. He was trying to keep his eyes downfield. Nobody came open.
He's trying to do everything that he had been taught, right? Every bit of the technique. But if no one's open, there is no technique except make sure you hold on to the ball as you go to the ground when you're getting sacked.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Now a quick throw as that's complete on the hitch route. The Panthers on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 4. Haskins will throw. And he's got his target. That's Moore. Touchdown, Carolina. DJ Moore. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. As his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line.
Here we go.
The Pats at the line, ready to go. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
At the 32-yard line.
Still a few inches short of a first down as they come up now on 2nd down. Jackson. This one complete to Ingram.
Well, the stats that matter on this play don't help a team very much unless, of course, you're playing defense.
If you're getting points per reception, you got a reception, but
yeah,
no yardage. Great job by the defense, though. They read through that one.
They read through it, gave up no yardage, and people got credit for tackles. Pretty good deal.
And the pressure will get to him. He goes down. Now, there is a flag on the play, but this looks like holding on the offense. So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. From the gun, it's Jackson. And avoids the contact by sliding.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Ready, set, check.
To throw again on second down. Jackson. And he'll get that to Michelle, complete. That one good for 13 and a New England first down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Brian Burns able to record his 5th sack of the season.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
And a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Now it's Jackson. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. Room to run past midfield. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. Lamar Jackson, such a threat with those legs, able to improvise and get the first. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Here's Jackson. Being chased out left. Pass incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. To throw is Jackson. To throw again. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. This drive, which was going so smoothly, all of a sudden it's a little bit of a roadblock here with 2 straight incompletions.
Yeah, apparently this defense has had enough. Apparently they're saying no more. We're making a stand right here, right now. But it is 3rd and 10. They've got to get after him one more time.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Now Jackson, operating from the gun, steps away to his left. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a 1st down.
Someone knew exactly where he needed to get to pick up that 1st down now. I'm not so sure about the technique in getting there, but he went for it, and he got it.
Exactly. He knew where he needed to get, because remember, if he slides, when that derriere dips, if you will, that play's over.
The derriere dips, I like that one.
Yeah, been working on it for a little bit. Now a 1st down carry. It's Michelle. He'll get the 1st down and more inside the 20. And all the way in. Touchdown, New England. Sony Michel, his 1st touchdown on the year, as they are now on the board here in the 1st half. The kick is through the uprights to tie this game, but hang on a second, we do have a flag. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense getting the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Second down, Haskins. And he whips that one incomplete there.
I would say it'd probably be a good idea for him to reintroduce himself to his receivers at the half because they're definitely on different wavelengths. But I also don't advocate waiting that long. Next series, before you get out there. Hey, let's get together, guys. Let's get this thing moving.
Looking to throw, Haskins. Going back to Moore. This time he's got it complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Coming up at halftime, we remind you once again that we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL as we reach now, hard to believe, the halfway point of the season. Time flying.
It certainly is. Time to get the sweaters out, my man.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Give him 10 there. Good enough for a Panther first down. Throwing now. Haskins on first down. That's to McCaffrey, complete. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. It's a Carolina first down on a gain of 16.
Good route, good pickup for first down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover, the angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. Now left side on the swing pass. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36.
I wonder what was going through his mind when he got the play call. He just got sacked on the previous play. He knows they're coming after him again. A little bit of guts to stand in there, take the hit, and successfully complete the screen pass. Really well done.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Haskins. Thomas has got it. Complete. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. The Panthers going to use the second of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. Haskins now just 7 of 15 so far, but he's got a 1st and 10.
Hey, we got 4 down. 6.
On 1st and 10, it's Haskins. Eluding the pressure right. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Curtis Samuel, the intended target, but it's going to be 2nd down.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss him? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Haskins. And they're going to get him. They bring him down to the sack back at the 16-yard line.
Taken down back at the 15-yard line.
And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through. So we are at halftime here on Halloween as we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, thank you, sir. A field goal separates these 2 teams as we come back for this second half. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. They have the lead now. They'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ballgame.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show him
nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Our time. It's our time.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Haskins. And he's got the hook up to Moore. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. A pickup of 24 on the 3rd down conversion.
First and 10 at the 38-yard line.
Now a give right side McCaffrey. And now off to the races down the right side. Touchdown, Carolina. Christian McCaffrey, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Panthers, they widen their lead. Extra point try good by Gano. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get this back to just the 20 with a penalty marker down. Let's see what this is about. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
So the face mask gets him a free 15 to start the drive. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. It's Clinton-Dix with a pick, and they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. So they elect to decline it.
And why not? Just go ahead and let the play stand, and they'll take that.
So into Pat's territory now. Here's 1st and 10, right at the 40. They'll run with McCaffrey. Tackle made that time by Christian Sam.
3rd quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
At the Patriots' 36-yard line.
From the 36, Haskins. There goes a deep ball, end zone. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through, and that will open the lead up now to 20-7. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
The Pats at the line, ready to go. And last time, 1-play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, you get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. They'll run with Michel. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Phillip Dorsett, the intended receiver. But now it'll be 3rd down. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down.
Mike is 59.
From the gun, Jackson forced out to his left. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Looked out by Rashawn Golden, and this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now after the turnover, here's Haskins. To the right side, and he's got more complete. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion. They go play action now. Haskins. Buying time to his left. And he'll go down at the 28. When in doubt, do it yourself as he keeps it for 3 and a 1st down.
Well, to me, this leads to the question, do you admire the way he puts his body out there all the time, or do you think he should protect himself a little bit more?
Well, he's been on the ground several times with all those sacks that he's taken. So, I don't know, I kind of admire him not sliding down there, don't you?
I'm with you on that one. The meter definitely leans towards admiration.
5 yards on the pickup, and it'll make it 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 5 at the 22-yard line.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Haskins. And he'll bring this one back to the 29.
Okay, partner, no surprise to you. I'm going to look at this from the defensive perspective. In the rain, you have to be more cautious trying to cover passing routes. Why? The offense knows where they're going with the football. The receiver knows the route he's going to run. You have to make sure you keep your footing underneath you.
After the interception, here's Jackson. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. Jackson now, throwing again, dancing to his left. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. And give him 10 that time as he was able to get away from the pressure and get a nice gain. From the gun on 3rd down, Jackson. And this is going to be incomplete. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that, and thus far they've been successful.
His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. He'll look to set up his blockers. Can't ask for much more than that. A 50-yard punt followed by a loss on the return. And the Panthers will have a 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. The drive begins with a run by McCaffrey. He's going to have the 1st down past the 20. And they will finally get him down to the 27-yard line. That's good for 21 yards and a 1st down. On play action, Haskins taking a shot for Samuel. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football, But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
On second down, McCaffrey. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup.
Another scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Here's Haskins to throw. Got his target, Samuel. 13 yards, first down, Panthers.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. Now Haskins to throw on second down. Open man is Samuel, complete. There he goes, left side. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Carolina. Curtis Samuel with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Panthers, they widen their lead. And he will get into the end zone to extend the lead by 2 more. And around the goal line, especially on 2-point tries, sometimes the QB's best friend is that big target, the tight end.
I love how you described it because you know he's going to have some length and some catch radius as well as a big body to keep people away from the football.
This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Let's go!
The Pats at the line, ready to go. And here we are, almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
And we're back now in Charlotte. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. Here's a throw that's taken in out of the backfield. And only able to get 2 here, stopped at the 30. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Now Jackson being chased out left. He can run for it, and he will. The improvisation gets him only a couple, but that's all he needed. First down.
Now that definitely hurts because the mindset is getting a 3 and out there, and they don't get it done. They give up the scramble and a pickup for a first down.
Now the Patriots going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. They'll run out of the gun with Michelle. And takes this one across the 35 to the 36, a gain of about 4.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
From the 36, Jackson. And he finds a man on the crossing route. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Panthers' 41-yard line.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Jackson now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. To throw is Jackson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Brian Burns in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. From midfield now, here's Jackson. Steps away to his left. He's going to take off with it. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Panthers' 29-yard line.
And a little bit of good fortune there. He wasn't able to get it back, but he did have a teammate on the spot able to retain possession for them.
They'll run on first down. Michelle, 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Play action. Now Jackson forced out to his left. He's going to take off with it. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Panthers' 15-yard line. Not only another first down, that also puts him over 100 yards rushing.
That's not something you see very often in the NFL. We see it more in college. But I think with more of the melding of the college game with quarterbacks, we'll see this a little bit more often in the future.
54, Mike. I got you, boy. I got you, boy. Watch the eye.
On first down, Michelle. He takes us down to about the 12 for a gain of 3.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
On 2nd and 7, Jackson setting up the screen to Pirine. And he's in. Touchdown, Patriots. A great play there with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Patriots get a score closer. And he pushed it right. It's no good. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Let's go.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really looked clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. On 2nd down, here's Haskins. Escaping the pressure right. That was going to let it go deep right sideline. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in the second half. Instead, it's 3rd down. The Panthers on 3rd down. They're hitting at 60%, 6 out of 10 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13.
Give me that ball, defense. 58, right over there, right over there. Yeah, yeah. Mike, 58, right there. Bandit. Bandit.
Now Haskins, 3rd and long. Taking a shot for Samuel. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down. Charles, thinking back to what you said in the first quarter, that part of the magic elixir for a road victory for these underdogs was going to be winning the turnover battle. Well, they only have one right now. Look at the scoreboard.
Yeah, not exactly playing to the form that I subscribed, right? When you talk about winning that turnover battle, that evens things out, especially for a road team, especially for a team that's an underdog.
21 yards. Well done on the return. And the Patriots take over. The Pats at the line, ready to go. This drive starts out on the ground with Michel. There he goes, right side. A big-time run there by Sony Michel. 51 yards on the ground. So he nearly took it the distance, gets him down inside the 10 for a 1st and goal.
I'd love to be in his head right now because is he rewarding himself for a great run or is he kicking himself because he didn't get all the way to the goal line?
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
When you got your backs in the shadow of your goal line, you've got to be physical in that situation because there's not a whole lot of space, not a lot of wild plays that can be run there.
It's put up or shut up time. Defensively, nice job just to make sure they didn't complete it on that play. They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal. Here's Jackson to throw. And he will score. Touchdown, Patriots. Lamar Jackson, his 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game. As they're now just an extra point away from getting back within 1 score. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. Fielded about a yard deep. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Here we go. Here we go.
At their own 22-yard line.
This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
Brings up 2nd and 9 at the 23-yard line.
Go nowhere, 22, go nowhere. Single receiver, single receiver. Hey, you're on an island over there. Single receiver.
They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. The Patriots will take their 3rd and final timeout. So that will leave them with no timeouts left. Still plenty of time on the clock. We'll see how that affects things here in this 4th quarter. The Panthers on 3rd down. They've converted 6 times and could use a 7th here. This is 3rd and 8. 3rd down. Here's Haskins. He gets it to Thomas. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd. Big hook up there. Forced to throw it on 3rd down. The connection's going to keep the drive alive and also keep the clock moving.
Yeah, and from a defensive perspective, didn't get a sack, didn't knock the ball free, didn't break up the pass. The clock keeps running on you. You're in a dire situation now.
A handoff. McCaffrey running right. Corey Littleton there on the tackle.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
It's now 2nd and 6 at their 48-yard line.
Two minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports.
You got it. You got it.
So it's Panther football as we welcome you back. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. And he'll take it across the 50 and into New England territory. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
Now it's Haskins. Completes it to Samuel. And he's got another 1st down as the tackle's going to be made at the Patriots 35. I think everyone in the stadium saw that big hit coming.
And I, as a former defensive back, have to admit I'm a little disappointed. He actually was able to hold on to the ball. He brought the lumber on that play. Give my man a whole lot of credit for taking the hit and possessing the football.
And picking up the first down. Down to a knee goes Greer, and that should be the final act in this contest.
Listen, anytime you take a knee to end a game, that means you've won it. So it doesn't matter whether it's home or on the road, but there's something a little extra special about doing it in front of your home crowd, isn't there?
And the home crowd applauding. They're happy with what they've seen. Chalk this one up in the left-hand column for a win.
Yeah, that's right. Head to the locker room, throw the wristbands in the crowd for the kids, your gloves, your towels. Get to share it with the home team.
Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Are you one of those guys that's skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Got your notes laminated, because, open-air booth, that rain can affect us as well, although not as much as the guys on the field. But let's face it, it's kind of fun to watch these types of games, isn't it?
It is. By the way, how impressive is it that you travel with a laminate?